And now for your top stories this hour. The Pakistan military has claimed the deaths of 274 Taliban fighters following a series of airstrikes carried out as part of Operation Ghazab Lil Haq. Pakistan's military spokesperson, Lieutenant General Ahmed Sharif Chowdhury, confirmed that 73 Taliban posts along the Pak-Afghan border were completely destroyed during the operation. In a press briefing, Chowdhury stated that over 400 Taliban fighters were injured and 12 Pakistani soldiers were killed with 27 wounded and 1 missing in action. According to the Pakistani military, the targeted locations, including Kabul, Kandahar and Paktia, were carefully selected with a focus on military sites. Pakistan has also claimed the destruction of 83 Taliban posts and the capture of 17 others. Despite the ongoing violence, Pakistan emphasized that the operation were conducted with the goal of safeguarding the nation's territorial integrity. Let's listen in.
ऑपरेशन गजब लिल हक चल रहा है। अब तक इसमें 274 तालिबान रजीम के एहलकार और ख्वारिज जहन्नम वासिल किए जा चुके हैं। 400 से ज़ायद ज़ख्मी हैं। अफ़गान तालिबान रजीम की 73 पोस्टें मुकम्मल तबाह की जा चुकी हैं। 73 पोस्ट along the Pak-Afghan border have been totally destroyed. पाकिस्तान के नामूस और पाकिस्तान की टेरिटोरियल इंटेग्रिटी को सेफगार्ड करते हुए ऑपरेशन में अब तक इस बहादुर फौज के 12 सपूतों ने जामे शहादत नोश किया है, जबकि 27 जख्मी हैं और 1 सोल्जर मिसिंग इन एक्शन है। फ़ज़ाई निशानों में 22 मकामात पर काबुल में, कंधार में, पक्तिया में, नंगरहार में, खोस्त में और पक्तिका में टारगेट्स लिए गए। All these targets were very carefully selected based on intelligence. They are military targets and great care was exercised so that there is no civilian collateral damage.
We are now being joined by Major General Dr. Rajan Kuchar, who's a senior strategic and international affairs expert joining us from New Delhi. Thank you so much for joining us here today on NewsX World. To what extent do such high casualty figures affect the narrative and dynamics of the border conflict, and could they escalate tensions further between Pakistan and Afghanistan?
Thank you, Ali. See, we first have to understand whether these estimates of casualties are correct or they are being fabricated, because DG ISPR of Pakistan, he is known to be have a tendency to exaggerate his claims. We saw that happening in Operation Sindoor also. I don't really want to give too much of importance to number of casualties which he is mentioning, because if you look at the terrain in Afghanistan and if you carry out analysis of the fighting in the last 24 hours, you can divide this entire area into 3 tactical zones. One is the northwest sector, one is the central mountain sector, and the other is the southern sector. So the fights have taken place basically in the northwestern sector, that is the Torkham and the Khyber Pass area and beyond, and the southern sector, that is Ghazni, Paktika and the Bajaur axis. Seeing the terrain of Afghanistan, where it is ridge lines 7,000 to 8,000 feet height, there are passes, defiles and all those gorges, it is unlikely, even if you carry out the artillery fire in these areas, to have these kind of casualties. So I would take it with a pinch of salt that what has been mentioned by Pakistan. Secondly, in the first day of the fighting, there were 19 Pakistani posts which were captured by the Afghan army, because I will not call them Taliban now, I will call them Afghan army. So Afghan army captured 19 Pakistani posts and also took certain prisoners of war and also inflicted some casualties, in which Pakistan itself has admitted that more than a dozen of their soldiers have died. And therefore, and even if I'll take you back to the Jafar Express incident, where Pakistan claimed that only about 15 or 18 of their men had died, but the figure was in excess of 100. And Pakistan Institute of Peace Studies has come out with a very interesting statistics, which says in the last 1 year, more than 1,000 Pakistani officers and soldiers have been killed in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa episodes. Now, coming to the crux of the problem, how long this war will continue, because these claims, counterclaims will continue, and they will only aggravate the situation, as you rightly said, that once you mentioned that so many casualties, I think the Afghanistan spokesperson has refuted these claims also. But notwithstanding that, I think this escalation in terms of what Pakistan is trying to do, from Afghanistan side, I have a fear that they're going to strike deep in terms of an asymmetric war, in terms of a proxy war, in terms of suicide attacks in the places like Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Karachi and all. So we are going to see these kind of attacks in which a lot of civilian Pakistanis casualties will take place. Mm-hmm. So I think the Pakistan army needs to realize that a conventional war is off. You can't fight a conventional war against Afghanistan, because firstly, the terrain will not permit you. Secondly, an Afghanistan army doesn't have a conventional army to fight against you. It doesn't have air power, it doesn't have air defense, it doesn't have any of these kind of systems. So I think we are in for a long drawn battle. It may stop on the borders, but within Pakistan, I think it'll get ignited, and there will be much to pay as far as Pakistan is concerned.
Mm. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajan, for joining us here today on NewsX World. France's foreign minister reacted strongly to reports of